Hello, my name is Napoleon VII, and today I'm going to be breaking down the entirety of the 1.20 Trails and Tales update out now for Minecraft. This update packs quite a punch, bringing a little something for everyone, but it also really heavily focuses on two kind of key areas of Minecraft, and when you realize what the update is focused on, well, it gets a lot more interesting. Quality of life and storytelling is really the key focus of the 1.20 update. Coming off the back of the 1.17 through to 1.19 update, we saw a lot of colossal changes for Minecraft. The entirety of the game's generation system was overhauled, multiple new explorable regions, wardens, lore, a new form of redstone and sculk, and more than doubling the size of the world from wide levels going upwards and down. So it's fair to say that this update's a lot more modest in what it's bringing to the game. It's more in line with the pre-1.16 updates, but that isn't a bad thing. The Trails and Tales update adds a lot all in and of itself, and I think to that end, we ought to get started with the namesake of the update, the Trail Ruins. Archeology, as many will know, is a long-standing holdover from the 1.17 update, and just like the Deep Dark, Mojang went back to the drawing board a little bit here and really developed Archeology into its own unique and interesting addition beyond the original showcase. In 1.20, we get these new trail ruin structures that spawn mostly in snowy biomes, like the taiga, the snowy taiga, old-growth taiga, but also old-growth birch forests and jungle biomes. They take on a myriad of different shapes and structure sizes, all buried quite deep below the ground to be dug up, but they present in this their own little minigame-esque mechanic to the world. They're these discoverable sites that you slowly unearth until you reveal quite the sizable structure: bright colored concretes, terracotta, mud brick, regular brick, stone brick, that all creates this really interesting and kind of singular sense of a structure. They're really unlike other structures you find in Minecraft. I mean, sure, other structures like desert temples and even some jungle temples can be buried in part or even quite buried beneath the sand, and those other structures also hold suspicious gravel and sand that you can brush down with the new mechanic of archaeology to find different little elements that are on the loot tables. But what I find very interesting about these trail ruin structures is how architecturally they feel very different from the rest of Minecraft, and Minecraft's world. They really give this impression of being this long lost trading post. But speaking of suspicious gravel and this brush mechanic, I really think it comes alive most in the trail ruin structure because it feels like an actual dig site. But the mechanic itself, while rudimentary for this brush tool, is a very interesting new mechanic to be added into Minecraft, and I'm very excited for what it might bring in future, though what it's already brought in this update is really exciting. But I'm also just an absolute sucker for any sort of lore or history being added into Minecraft's world, so this mechanic, what it really adds is you brush down the various elements of suspicious sand or suspicious gravel, and you find within them various different loot items. Of these loot items, pottery shards are probably going to be the most coveted or valuable item you can get out of suspicious sand or gravel. And yes, it's a pottery shard for some reason. I don't know why they renamed it from a shard to a shard, but they did. So sure, the shard's a shard. Clear as mud? Good. I'm glad. Anyway, the secondary most coveted item is probably gonna be armor templates. These, along with the shards, are some of the more interesting new items added into Minecraft, particularly loot items. But what I do also want to touch on right before we get to that is my favorite new addition out of the entirety of the trail ruins, because you can find these shards and these templates in any suspicious sand or gravel that you find in any other one of the different structures that spawns it, be that a desert temple, an ocean monument, ruins, etc. But only the trail ruins will have this next item, and that is a new music disc. It's a wonderful new disc. I love the idea of it being loot specific to these one structure types, but also even beyond that, I think the new music disc is an amazing addition into Minecraft's music disc catalog. It's really different from the other classic music discs, and I enjoy that it keeps the 8-bit feel, but gives a more refined and full musicality to it, if that makes sense. It's more produced, which makes sense if it's a relic of this ancient, more advanced civilization that I really do think that these trail ruins are meant to be indicative of. One that has the ability to make music like this. Sheriff's a newcomer to Minecraft, and I think he has a wonderful new showing in all the music that's added to this update, which you've heard throughout this video, but also I think Relic itself has such a wonderful, distinct sound to it, and I don't know, I just really like this music disc. But moving right along, another new great addition I'm excited for in 1.20 is the new bamboo wood type. It clearly seems inspired by the Tropicraft version of bamboo wood, which makes sense though, because the old mod's creator, Corey, actually works for Mojang now as a developer on this very update, which is really cool to see community talent get brought into the studio itself. And I think the wood type looks really good, adding several variants and the first new raft type of wood for a boat. And while it might seem like a simple new addition of a wood type, I think it adds a lot of character to the game, but also addresses a long-standing criticism of the fact that bamboo couldn't be crafted into any sort of wood block. It seems a real cool new palette and wood type to have in your arsenal for building, even though my simple wood hut probably doesn't do the best at showcasing that, but beyond that, bamboo wood now presents a really great renewable resource for those who have auto smelters. Speaking of auto smelters, we're getting an entirely new system of redstone coming in the 1.20 update. Calibrated sculk is a new way to use sculk and amethyst. Calibrated sculk represent a variant of the regular sculk sensor that allows players to filter which vibration frequency it detects through a redstone signal input. Unlike regular sculk, these sensors can detect vibrations up to 16 blocks away and have a cooldown of 1 second instead of 2 seconds. One side of the calibrated sculk sensor can receive a redstone signal input, and the strength of the redstone signal is the only vibration frequency the sculk sensor will listen to. I'll be honest, this is all a little technical above my head. I don't interact with redstone a whole lot, but I do think that this is a really interesting new world of Bluetooth redstone that transport redstone pulses further with greater ease. Now, I mean, I can't look you in the eye and tell you that I fully understand exactly what that means, but it sounds interesting at the very least, and I'm sure somebody out there who understands redstone a lot better than I would is gonna be really excited for this new addition. Another cool new redstone feature being added is found in the chiseled bookshelf. Now, on its surface, they might seem like they're just a cool new bookshelf that finally provides a way to store all of my books, enchanted books, books and quills, and regular books, all which can be interacted with and stored in these bookshelves. But with a comparator, you'll actually get a redstone pulse out of these shelves, so you can finally make that hidden library passageway you've always wanted in Minecraft. Oh, just me? Just I wanted that? Okay, well, I still think it's cool. Moving on though, we also get two great new animal companions this update, the Sniffer and the Camel. The Sniffer was the winner of the latest mob vote and is an ancient mob in the world of Minecraft that you'll need to find within suspicious sand in warm water ocean ruins and hatch one of those eggs to actually bring the mob into your world. Interestingly, a bed of moss will speed up the process for the hatching, actually cutting it down by almost half the time, but I don't have time to wait for all that, so take a look at this guy. A lovable, lumbering new mob, the Sniffer sniffs and snuffles about your world in search of seeds to unearth. Specifically, they find ancient seeds that you can't get anywhere else for the torch flower and the pitcher pod. To grow, these seeds need to be planted in farmland, but they can subsequently be placed anywhere you like after they've grown. The Sniffer and these ancient plants actually have a really interesting archaeological rediscovery theme that plays a lot into the theme of revival and archaeology that is in the Trails and Tales update. I like it a lot. The other cool new companion is the Camel, the first two-person mount in Minecraft that can be found near desert villages and with a simple saddle can be taken anywhere you'd like. What's really fun about the Camel is its dash mechanic, but also that its block height makes it so mobs like zombies can't reach you with their little grabby hands. It's a fun new addition as a mob, and it's great for early game exploration and for crossing deserts. Another cool addition, or rather change I guess, for this update is the UI changes that King B-Dog seemed to have worked on. I think it was mostly him, based on how much he tweeted about it, but it's a really cool thing that the team's done. Creative menus have all changed to be a bit more clean, and I quite like the new UI. Circling back to the pottery sherds though, here are the final products for just some of those pottery combinations you can now make. It's a cool display piece, and I like the mysterious history they tell with their pictures. It's very reminiscent of ancient Greek pottery. Alongside those, I wanted to talk about the new armor trims getting added. Armor templates are a cool new loot item that you can get from all over Minecraft's world, from the Deep Dark to the Elder Guardian to the End and beyond. They give new use to the smithing table and great customization capability for armor in the game. One of the big changes they add though is that you're now going to need smithing templates to craft netherite armor. These can be found in Piglin Bastion remnants, typically in treasure bastions. While not a bad change, as I can understand wanting to stall some of the late game power creep netherite offers, and it's also not outlandish to achieve as you'll only need one because they can be duplicated. I do wonder how such a dangerous journey will go for players trying to breach the Bastion. I mean, especially in hardcore. Either way, I think it's an interesting change, but I don't know, what do you think? Finally though, a wonderful new biome's getting added, the Cherry Grove biome, which adds cherry trees with this lovely new pink wood palette that, I mean, boy, it is pink. The biome is beautiful to behold, and I mean, look at the falling leaf particles. I also love how the floor is being coated in this new pink petal plant coverage. It's also peaceful, but I mean, besides from that, another interesting thing that I haven't yet touched on is signs. Signs you can now edit on the go and even write on the back of. There's also going to be now hanging signs as a new chained up sign version, and so I think that's all really interesting, but I guess that really covers everything in the 1.20 update. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider subscribing. I mean, it really does help the channel grow, and I'm actually really close to 1,000 subscribers, which I think would be neat. I could rub it in somebody's face. I don't know who, but somebody. I think it'd be cool. Until next time though, I've been Napoleon the 7th, and I'll see you later. Bye!